Hey everybody, Jacob with Scooters Lawn Care. Today I want to talk about scheduling systems, scheduling software. Do you need it? Do you not? I was kind of skimming through LawnSight the other day and I noticed someone was asking, do you need scheduling software? Do I not need scheduling software? Their question was, I only had 30 accounts and was it really necessary? So I saw this and I hopped on because me personally, if you watch the other videos, you know what we use. But without that even being said, I feel like it's insanely important. It sparked my interest. Who cares if you have 10 or 20 accounts? These softwares out there, you can get them for $57 to $100 a month, and that might seem astronomical, but you've got to think about it big picture. So you have to think about question that somebody brought up. They said they could do, if they only had 30 accounts, it might take them 10 minutes a night to do that. Well, so I did the math really quick on LawnSight for them and kind of put it out there just to state the way I think about things. And like I said, this is thinking big picture. This is not thinking about, hey man, it's going to save me $100 a month if I don't get that. Because when I'm thinking about something, I'm thinking about growing, having a bigger company, building something sustainable that more than just me can come in and operate. So I did the math really quick on LawnSight. I did the math and broke it down that if it took 10 minutes a day to do all of your paperwork. Now I don't know what this guy considers paperwork. This guy might mean just scheduling because that's what we're talking about. Well, these fairly inexpensive softwares I'm talking about, they do scheduling, invoicing, billable hour tracking. They actually route the guys where they can go spot to spot to spot on GPS. I mean, it does so much that I can't fit it all in because we'd keep talking about it for hours. But so I added up those 10 minutes a day that person that might spend doing it by hand. At the end of the month, that was 3.5 hours he would spend. So if he spends 3.5 hours, that depending on what your billable hours is, ours is 50, that turns into $150. So all of a sudden you see you tried to save $100, you wasted $150 in time to save that money when this thing does these things do even more than just the scheduling that they're talking about. They do even CRM. You want to have client relationship management. This is something that, like I said, I feel so adamant, and I needed to make a video and speak about this, that you need to start while you're small. While you've got 10, 20, 30 accounts. Get this, get it implemented. Keep trying to tweak it. Use these systems to your advantage. Figure out everything about them. Use them for their invoicing and scheduling. Use it for everything. Our system now does a bunch of different invoicing options automatically, but our old system, it would bulk invoice at the end of the month. At 2 clicks, invoice, mail the invoice. So that was a huge thing. Another person mentioned tax write-off. That's whatever the amount is, it's a tax write-off at the end of the year. You can't write off your wasted time on a tax write-off. So that's another thought I had about this. So to recap on all of this, the benefits are huge. I can't tell you how much it'll change your business, because when you start doing that pen and paper and you start having those 30 accounts, and then all of a sudden you're doing 30 accounts mowing, no big deal, you're doing it alone, or you might have a helper, but you're doing 30 accounts mowing, and then all of a sudden you realize I can do 30 different jobs a month for these 30 clients or whatever the case is, and you start, all of a sudden you'll be doing as much stuff to help these customers as you are doing the mowing. And now the mowing's easy to keep track of. It's weekly or bi-weekly, as long as you keep it like that, it's easy to keep track of. But then you start adding in these one-time jobs, and then so here's your one-time jobs, here's your reoccurring jobs, and then you're trying to have new customers flowing through the pipeline and keep up to pace with them. Do a good job of communicating with them, staying on point with them. Biggest problems out there: service providers that do not answer the phone, and service providers that can't keep their act together. They got too much going on. They don't have a way. They use post-it notes. Don't get me wrong, we still use post-it notes, but mainly we use our system to track everything. But they use post-it notes. They got a stack of papers. They've got nothing organized, all because they wanted to save a certain amount of money so they could do it on pen and paper. Like I said, you can't write off your wasted time. And if you don't want to go that far, if you want to just keep it small, be one man show that might end up mowing 50 yards a week, 80 yards a week, if that's all you want to do is mow, that might be fine. But I want to make sure, my main thing is to the people out there that want to do more than just that. I want to make sure they don't get misconstrued in listening to that information and think that that's all they need. Because when you hear someone talk, you need to make sure, is this guy wanting to go to the same place that I'm wanting to go? Because if they aren't, you need to listen to the people that are on the path you want to be on, because you could get misled down the wrong road and make some bad decisions just because you assumed that that advice was good when it truly was not. So this is my take on the situation as far as scheduling software. Like I said, scheduling software is the tip of the iceberg. If people think that's all it does, then they're very misinformed. There's a lot more usability for the software out there. If anybody has any questions, I can go over everything ours does. I can take them through the ins, the outs. I can even talk to them about our old system and what we thought about that, and if it was something that might work for someone for a beginner, because our old system was really good for someone that is starting off to maybe $100,000. After that, it started having its crutches, and that's why we got away from it, because we saw the need for us to adopt something that would take us to maybe a huge size, and we didn't want to have to keep changing our systems. So that's another thing to think about. Once you start getting something, use something to keep track of stuff for the get-go, but really try to make sure you made the right choice on your software, because if your software is going to take you to the point of 500,000 and then all of a sudden it's going to be worthless to you, switching when you get that big is going to be a real hardship. So it's also good to take the time. There's all these things have free 30-day demos where you can try them out. Try them out. Make sure you got the right things. Ask questions. Ask a guy like me who uses a software, what do I think about it? Then ask all the other guys that you can find. Maybe if you go to the GIE Expo this year, you can ask everybody else who uses every other software and ask them what they really think's best. So take your time, make a decision, and figure out if you got the best software for you. Because in the end, it's how it's going to work for your business is how it really matters. But to sum all this up, I feel it's extremely important. I would like to ask anyone why they would think maybe it's not important to them. Give me the reasons. I would love to hear that. I would also love to get feedback from all of you guys. What do you use? Do you use pen and paper still? What scheduling system it is that is your favorite? What are you thinking about switching to? This has been Jacob with Scooters Lawn Care. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Snapchat. I'm going to try to have something linked down below on what to follow me or where to follow me on that. Also starting up Twitter now too, and we have a Facebook Scooters Lawn Care account if you ever want to check out kind of our strategy on there. So again, Jacob with Scooters Lawn Care. Everybody have a great day. Bye now.